Guess what, folks? It's a Sunday! Yes, it fucking is. Time for an Expo What's Up. So, the UK Vaper Expo is now done and dusted. I was hoping to get day 2 up last night, but the problem was this thing, the DJI Osmo, has a little Wi-Fi adapter that I use to broadcast to the phone so I can have this thing on the long monopole. And guess who forgot to bring the adapter? Yeah, so this is basically going to contain footage from day 2 and day 3 from the UK Vaper Expo. And yeah, let's just get stuck in straight to the video, and I'll wrap up once we've seen Johnny and Ashley. Do you want water? On stage.
How are you? I met man nice and small. he's got matching.
Yeah, I'm on the leg street.
Well, now, as you can hear, there's Johnny. We've got to stop looking at that bit. Now, as you can hear, we've got Johnny doing his stuff, waiting for everybody to come in. And we're the only ones here. We called them coming in.
I'll just let you do the intro.
We're waiting for them all to come in.
Hello! So when's Mark coming in?
Well, no, he's not messaged me, you're wrong, mate.
Right, anybody else in the casino last night? No, I usually do. Yeah, you guys were the organisers as well.
Wow, it's only us here.
I was saying that to Alan a minute ago. Remember all them years ago? There were loads of this. Fights to get footage.
Awards night there, very, very good. Very, very good. Lots of you, my son
That
is
was
still in
a
bed.
nice match.
And you won, ladies and gentlemen,
A good show.
the first Expo here at the NEC for Vaping.
Good post,
The brake check indicators and horns. And you test all your horns if you're all like a little buggy. You need to hold a horn test, please. Come on. Right, you hear the right there? Hey, good fella. You alright? Who's first time here? Never been to a Wave Expo before. Who's a vaping virgin? You are? Right, get on that bus. Hey, move it. Who's their second time out?
For the people wondering whose voice that is, it's Johnny. He's one of the MCs up on the stage. He likes to work the crowd up a bit.
Anybody want to quit? Right, you're on the road using the next door. That bus is going to leave it there alone for me. Right, are we ready for a countdown, ladies and gentlemen?
Finally.
Are we ready? Ready, steady, go! All right, so we have a countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open that door, get them in!
Thunderbirds or go!
Come on, let's open the doors, ladies and gentlemen!
I'm waiting for it to say I'm going to good.
And this is how it goes. Everybody giving up. Are you happy? Will we? Come on, there's previous stuff there. All the security staff there. They're all working for free today. So anyone with a record, excuse her, I'll really see on it. Show them respect, they were very happy and safe.
that fucking now not with six. A little bit. Fair few. Come forward a little.
So here we are. Can you hear me over the music? Probably fucking not. So let's go for a little walk around, shall we? It is 1:30 in the afternoon here at the UK Vaper Expo on the first public day, which is of course Saturday, and I hope you can hear me over the music. I really should have bought the lapel mic, but I'm a fucking idiot and forgot to do it. We're going to have a very quick walk around so you can see how busy it is for the Saturday. Personally, seriously Johnny, seriously, can you talk any louder, Johnny? Personally, I think it's a little bit busier than what it was this time last year for the Expo in May of 2022. You fucker! You fucker! Well, for the people wondering, yeah, that was Paul who sneaked up on me. What the fuck was I talking about again? Should I cut this or leave it in? Fuck it, I'll leave it in. So it is a little bit busier than what it was this time last year, but I mean, it doesn't have, this is to me personally, it doesn't have the footfall that the Expos previously, pre-COVID had. But what we're now going to do is go up with just a very quick up and down. Not all of the lanes, but the major lanes of the UK Vaper Expo, and we'll finish this with a tour, a close-up tour of what's happening in the Ohm Zone. So here we go. I remember how the fuck to do this. It's 1, 2, 3. There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, what we for your company, we want to get started now, don't we? We want you to wait now.
How are you?
How you doing, sir?
Good. Good to see you.
So you think it's a little bit busier than last year? Were you here last year?
Last year I was exhibiting last year.
It's a little bit busier.
Do you think? I think I strained my brain trying to work out whether it is or whether it isn't. It's
I think it's just a little bit busier.
Yeah.
That's the feeling I'm getting anyway, I'm not sure. Anyway, off on a walk around.
Go on, go, yeah. How are you doing?
Not bad.
I want to be in the fucking shot there. Hello.
I'll see you later.
Yeah. We've seen this design.
I'm just going to stand here until they realise what's happening. They're completely oblivious. No, it's not live. It's not live. I don't do live, I don't get the signal for it. That looks cool.
Like a silhouette.
It is, it's like a silhouette.
A sexy little silhouette.
Silhouette.
You dick.
Congrats in second place, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Vaper round.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Yeah.
Third place, second place.
There we go. the UK Vaper Expo. I done a bit of a screw up yesterday, folks. I forgot the wireless bit for this thing, so recording on the DJI Osmo with the phone without the wireless bit is a fucking nightmare. So what I'm going to be doing, as you can probably see right now, is day 2 and day 3 has been merged into one longer video that I'm going to be uploading tonight. With me, I have the one and only Eat My Baby. There he is. And we're going to be doing, come on camera, thank you, and tilt down. We're going to be doing the folks walking in, and hopefully sometime later on this afternoon I'm going to go round most of the stalls, if not all of them, of the Ohm Zone and get a quick chat to the folks looking after them, see what they thought about it, see what they thought about the actual expo, and that should wrap up the coverage of the 2023. He's fucking, hurry up, you fucker! That's what he's doing. Hurry up, you fucker! Right, I need to go to get all the people coming in.
I'm here with the yellow now. Get back in there. Good morning.
Hi guys, it's JJ from Vaper. Come on, make some more noise than that. It's day 3, it's still way day. You know the rules, it's not there down the shores. Final day. We're stand E10, come check us out. Got our colleagues hanging out freebies as we walk through the door. Big smile. Welcome, welcome. Vaper Expo 2023, James from Vaper, stand E10. You look at the right as you come through the door, follow the sound of my voice. I'm over here. Stop at number 1, Vaper. Mind the gap.
Walk around, then we'll head back to the Ohm Zone and have a closer look at some of the stuff that was on offer in the Ohm Zone during the weekend. Here we go! Hello! 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 So yeah, that was the Dove Post stand we were looking at there. It's just pods and not in the Dove Post stand, but everything else is just pods and disposables. But the Dove Post stand, there was a new item sitting there that you've probably seen a very nice close-up of. Don't have a clue when that's getting released. It's going to be soon by the looks of it, because the thing already looks ready to go. I do have, did I put pictures of this up? I don't think I did. I do have the Dovepot Ethos, which is a new dual 18650 borrow tank device. Kind of wedge-like, rouleau-esque, but not quite rouleau-esque. That kind of idea. Hopefully the review for that's going to be put up sometime in the next week and a half. Anyway, where are we going? We'll go this way. Yes. Camera back up.
It's not involved. Yeah, what way? The Empire that way?
Oh, got one already. Hi.
Speak again.
Hi.
I'll unlock it all snaps.
I wonder who makes that juice. So we're standing here at Exceptional Vapes, who happens to be the same company that's selling Regency line. Buy it now, I need the money, thank you. This is Carol, say hello Carol.
Hello, hello.
So I've got a couple of questions that I'm going to be asking select people, well, people that I can get my hands on basically, here at the Home Zone to give people an idea. Question number one, and this is specific to you. Exceptional used to be out on the main floor, but this year you're here at the Home Zone. What's the difference? Or have you noticed the difference?
Oh, massive, massive. I mean, it costs us more to be out there.
Yeah.
It's much cheaper for us to be in here. We've generated probably 300% more money by being inside the Home Zone. I won't give you exact figures, obviously, but we've done really, really well this week.
That much?
Yes. Yes. It's drastic. It's
Hell.
drastic. But that's the difference.
I didn't think about that. I give a difference though.
Huge. Absolutely huge.
So, second and last question.
Yes.
If you could change anything for the Vaper Expo in May 2024, what would it be?
Limit the amount of disposables and extend the Home Zone. That's the best two things they could possibly
I
do.
agree on both points.
Yes, 100%. Extend the Home Zone.
Yeah, they've got to.
They've got to.
And I'll add something onto that, move it away from that, the stage.
Yeah.
got to move
Yeah,
away
we
from the
couldn't hear
stage.
anything.
I couldn't hear anything
No,
either.
no.
These interviews were supposed to happen on Saturday, wiped out because of what was happening on the stage, and they're happening late today because the event's carried on. Anyway, where can people find you on the internet?
Am I allowed to give the web address?
Yeah, I see you.
Exceptionalvapes.co.uk.
I'm a juice.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you. Cheers, mate.
Make yourself here. Who wants this box? Right, while we get the reception is
Little bit of the vanilla, but quite creamy. I've got his stuff that one for the
Is this a squat? Alright. Can I have a look at it?
I described that on the website. That's very nice. Slight sweetness
Can I have a look at that
to it, a little bit of vanilla.
The golden orange?
That is to me. That one there is a spin-off. That's in it, so it shares an awful lot of ingredients, but it's got stewed fruit on there. So it's got sweet fruit, yeah, tart,
So it's basically your version of the RX100.
DNA 250 200 watts.
Oh, okay.
But when it's a quad, it goes to 400 watts. So you've got 400 watts of power with that.
Yeah, because now I've got a very big tank, but I've only got one system that can carry it at the minute. It's a 0.09 ohms.
3, 2, 1. So we're joined by a face who some people may not recognise, but you stop complaining. He looks fine. He looks
I need
fine.
a haircut.
He looks fine. At least you've got hair.
This is my own. It's my own, isn't it? It is.
That's your own.
I'm pulling it out for 6 months.
But at least you've got hair. So this is your first as Vape Smarter.
Yes.
Vape Smarter, by the way, in case you didn't guess by the sign behind us. How did it go?
I'm very happy with it. I'm very much, as people keep complaining, I'm very much glass half empty.
Right.
Which for something like this is good because I didn't expect to sell anything. I didn't expect to sell anything. I came here thinking I'm gonna make a loss. That's the first thing I thought.
Wow.
Because if you think you're gonna come here and win,
You might, right. I can see where you're going with that. Yeah, I can see where you're going with that.
so especially with the current climate.
Yeah.
So you've got the current climate with cost of living crisis and everything else. And I've said to customers all day long, I'm very aware of what my products cost, and I'm trying to keep it low. I'm really aware of it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've done a cheaper range. I've tried to do taste for everybody, whether you've got a £3 for some snips,
Yeah.
whether you've got some drip tips, whether you've got some stands. So you've got something, and then the way I've worked it is, apart from the snips, which, you know,
Oh, yeah.
if it's a small, they go in a bag. It's
There's something. Yeah.
because somebody can't afford a £200, £300 mark, so they buy a stand for £20, £30.
Exactly.
And then you present it the same. So it's kind of like almost like the Apple Store situation.
Perfect example. Yeah, perfect example. So, follow-up question. This is your first time here.
Yeah.
And I've asked this to the guys at Exceptional Vapes. I'm going to be asking the same question to everybody. Well, most of the people here. May 2024, if you were able to change one thing about the upcoming Expo in May 2024, skip October, what would you change?
Like sell more. You've got to come here for product.
Yeah. Yeah.
The biggest problem is what we got here is coils.
Coils, yeah.
Coils.
a lot of coil
Coiler,
coils.
Scott's coils, then got Where's the tanners?
There's no rebuildables for sale here. There's literally no rebuildables for sale here. None.
So we need somebody that's selling tanks, drippers,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. The mods you've got. I mean, they said to me at Expo that they want mod makers. The mod makers in this country, which are businesses registered, are here.
Oh, they're here. Oh, they're here.
And there's
Only two.
three of us.
That's Scott Bonner. I get you. He was. I get. It's Tunwood FX. So there's Stu, Tunwood FX, and Johnny down the bottom, and that's it. So the mod makers are here.
Yeah. And then you've got Death Wish as well.
Oh yeah, Christ, Death Wish drop it there.
So there's four.
Yeah.
They can't get the people here because businesses aren't established. The days of face and friends and family and Facebook group, they're
That's
over.
gone. Yeah, that's gone. That's gone. That's
So
gone.
we need more people here, but also the people that are selling all this high disposables. And I know this is a hot topic, but they are in the market, and it is a place in the market, and it's going to change.
Yeah.
But they're not selling.
They're not. They're just displaying.
Yep.
They're all displaying. None of them are selling.
Yep.
They're treating it like one long business-to-business marketing day or weekend. That's what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. Anyway, that was the one, the only Stu from that website right there, Vape Smarter. You've seen me review some of his stuff. You've seen Bogan right over his head reviewing some of his stuff. Go to his website and buy stuff. Bye! So we're joined by the once again award-winning,
Really annoying ones that just fly in fucking lights.
once again award-winning. So I've been jumping from booth to booth, asking basically the same questions, so it's not too hard. Number one, you've been here before,
Every year.
every year. How does this year compare to recent
This is
expos?
post-COVID.
Yeah,
The home zone is the best it's ever been.
that's
Double the size.
Yeah.
It's been super busy. We've hardware back in the home zone.
Yeah,
It's been brilliant.
that has been brilliant. Number two, the last simple interview. Number two, the last question. May 2024, you have the opportunity to change one thing. What would it be?
Less out there, more in here, more hardware.
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's what's been said before. More hardware.
Yeah, more hardware.
And where can people find you?
Instagram, Facebook, Discord, email.
You're everywhere basically.
Yeah.
And that. Shite. Congrats on the award again.
Thank you.
All done. Yeah. And there we have it. Excuse me while I take a drink of Vimto. Not a sponsor, just like Vimto. Plus they don't have Iron Brew down here, which is shocking. So, the UK Vaper Expo May 2023, what do I think of it? Has there been an improvement since what happened in May of 2022? Yes, there has been an improvement. Yes, there is still a swathe of disposables at the UK Vaper Expo, but unlike May of 2023, where it was like 90 to 95% disposables across the floor, this time that percentage had dropped down. From what I've seen of the layout, if you track back to the first video I did and look closely at what the booths were actually, what the booths had, a lot of the disposables were on the outer ring, right? So the outside booths, the centre lanes of the UK Vaper Expo were either non-disposable pods, so pod kits, or in the case of Dovepole, they were selling mods. They had Vaping Bogan there, Grim Green turned up. In fact, I think there's a clip of Grim Green somewhere in this video. But Vaping Bogan was there, Grim Green turned up for a couple of days on Saturday and Sunday, and Dovepole were basically selling the Odin, well at least I think they were selling the Odin 2. Or were they just displaying it? But the Odin 2 was there. I picked up the Dovepole Ethos, which is their new dual battery borrow tank device. I'm going to be reviewing that hopefully within the next week and a half, 2 weeks. And they were selling the stuff that Dovepole and BP mods are known for. So no disposables. Oxford were right next door to them. They had their pods, they had their AIOs. But yeah, still the majority of the booths there were geared towards disposables, but the percentage of the booths that were geared towards disposables had definitively dropped. Not by much, granted. I think it was like 90-95% of the booths in May of 2022 was disposables. This year around, it looked more like 70 to 75% were disposable booths. We're talking about the main floor here, we're not talking about the Ohm Zone. We'll go into the Ohm Zone later on. So there was a decline in disposables, but not a big decline. The vast majority of the booths there were tailored towards the disposable market. There's no getting around it. It was definitely tailored much more towards the disposable market side of things. But hobbyist vapors, and for that matter advanced vapors as well, they did have Dovpo there, they did have Oxford there. Lost Vape was there, but not the Lost Vape we remember. This is the newer Lost Vape, because they've lost a load of their staff, and what Lost Vape were selling were essentially pod kits. The star of the show, however, has got to be the Ohm Zone. There was interviews, that you've seen it during the recording there. There was interviews with a few people. I just did not have the time or the lack of noise, because Johnny and Ashley were up on stage most of the way through Sunday. So there was a number of vendors there, a number of mod makers. You had Stu from Vape Smarter, always been a fan of Stu. You had Johnny from Overkill, and you had the lads from Deathwish Mods. They were there as well. You had literally, as Stu said, a whole row of coil makers. Some of them I've never even heard of. You had the big ones like Coils by Scott, Proper Coils, CC Coils, and there was more. And I'll be honest, I haven't heard of half of them. But that was a whole row of coil makers, and as Stu said, it was a shame that there was nobody selling RTAs or RDAs at the Expo, because if anyone had bought an RDA or RTA, they had a perfect opportunity to get a set of coils made, fresh, mostly, there and then, at the Expo, at the Ohm Zone, but nobody was actually selling RTAs or RDAs. Dovpo had some rebuildables, but they had a very limited stock, and they didn't bring enough. But the Ohm Zone was the saving grace of this year's Expo, and especially through practically all of Saturday and most of Sunday, the Ohm Zone was packed. It was absolutely packed. Comparing it to certain sections of the rest of the main floor of the UK Vaper Expo. Because here's the thing, and I remember saying this in another hotel room about a year ago. People on disposables are not going to go to a Vaper Expo. People on disposables have probably just gave up smoking. People on disposables do not want or are not interested in taking that further step up into pod kits or into AIOs or into stock coil sub-ohm tanks or into high wattage or medium wattage vaping with RDAs or RTAs. People on disposables will simply not go to the UK Vaper Expo. The problem that the Expo had this year was the exact same problem it had last year. A lot of the stuff that was set out for beginners. People who smoke, who don't go to the Vaper Expo. But there we go. A lot of the booths there on the main floor were basically set up as essentially a trade stall. They were not selling. Again, practically all of the disposable booths were not selling. They were just displaying. It was set up as a trade show for them anyway. It was set up as a trade show, but the Ohm Zone was basically the star of the show. It was definitely the star of the show, and a lot of old familiar faces in the Expo circles for the UK basically camped out for most of the weekend at the Ohm Zone. If anything is to be taken away from how the UK Vaper Expo in May of 2022, I need food, that's the problem. If anything's to be taken away from how the Vaper Expo of May 2023, there you go, Vic, use words, performed, it's this. The fact that the Ohm Zone was so heavily trafficked means there is still a core and a growing core of advanced and hobbyist vapers who would welcome the ohm zone to be expanded to possibly double, maybe even triple its current size. If the ohm zone is stretched out, if it's made known in the marketing for the UK Vaper Expo, all the future marketing of the UK Vaper Expo, that the ohm zone is dedicated to advanced and hobbyist vapers, I think you could see a possibility of the ohm zone tripling in size, and I think you can see the possibility of the likes of Steam Crave, of possibly even Dovepot, of the rebuildable manufacturers taking a booth at the ohm zone, drawing more traffic in. That could happen. It could definitely happen, but from what I've seen of the past 3 days, people thoroughly enjoyed the ohm zone. They thoroughly enjoyed the ohm zone. The main floor, apart from Dovepot, Oxford, Lost Vape and a handful of others, it's just disposables. It was mostly disposables that were there. All in all, though, from a personal standpoint, I did have a very enjoyable time. A very enjoyable time. I managed to actually walk around without being on the little scooter, and no, I wasn't stoned out my face and tramadol because I never took any with me. But I did have a good time. Getting to meet some old friends face to face again is always a good thing. It's been about the social side for me for the UK Vaper Expo for a number of years now, because a lot of the companies that do send stuff out who also go to the expo generally tend to post things out anyway. They don't hold back stuff for me at the expo unless it's a spur of the moment thing, which is what happened with the Ethos from Duppo. It was a spur of the moment. There you go, Vic. There's something new for you to review. But a lot of the other companies that I generally tend to deal with when it comes to reviews, like Oxford, they just post it out. They don't hold anything back at the stand. But comparing it to 2022, it was an improvement. It was a definite improvement. The ohm zone was much bigger than October of 2022. Just the general feel of the people that were milling around the ohm zone, they were much happier, basically happier, milling around at the ohm zone and taking it all in than they were in the May Expo of October 2020, not the May Expo of October 2022, no, the May Expo of 2022. A lot, not all, I'm not saying all, but a lot of the vapers that go to the public days for any expo generally tend to be advanced, generally tend to be hobbyists. A small, tiny percentage of them are going to be beginners. Tiny percentage of them, which is the reason why there is always going to be complaints about the amount of disposables that are at the UK Vaper Expo. But apparently the Hall of Vape this year had the exact same problem as well, although the way that they'd done it, I think they limited the amount of disposables that were going to be at the hall, so there was a lot of rebuildables and a lot of advanced kits. If I was to say anything to Jay, and I know sometimes Jay watches feedback for the UK Vaper for UK Vaper Expos, here's what I would do. Whether it could be implemented though is a different kettle of fish. However, the zone idea, the ohm zone for, it's a zone for hobbyist vapers. What might be a good idea in the future is to mark out the floor plan of the UK Vaper Expo in 3 zones. 3 zones. I'm holding up 5 fingers. 3 zones, right? One zone, which could be the front half at the entrance, could be the beginner vapor zone. Pod kits, disposables, that kind of thing. The back half could be split in 2. So one side of it could be advanced vapors. Smock could show up with their AIOs. They could show up with their dual battery box mods, along with Vaper SO, along with, well, maybe not Dovepot, but the dual battery box mods, single battery mods, stock coil, sub-ohm tanks. The core of the advanced vaping market, the stock coil sub-ohm tank market. And the other half of that split back could be the new advanced vapor section. In other words, what used to be called the ohm zone. And because the ohm zone now called the advanced or hobbyist vaping side is much bigger, you could have even more mod makers in there, even more coil builders. You could even have shops appear in there, or wholesale distributors selling rebuildable tanks, selling drippers, selling mech mods, that kind of thing. So zone out the floor plan for future UK Vaper Expos, and that way people can look at the map and know the general area of where they want to go first. So people who are interested in disposables only need to walk to the front. People who are interested more in high wattage vaping of any variety, they can go to the back half of the floor. And it would also mean that vendors who attend can now choose if they want one stall, one main stall in one area, or they could split their stall up. Have one main stall, in the case of Dovepole, in the advanced vape section, and maybe rent one booth for the rebuildable side of their catalogue in the hobbyist zone, and put a couple of staff in there as well. It might be an idea. It might be an idea, but one thing's for sure, the ohm zone needs to be extended. It needs to be at least doubled in size. At least doubled in size, because I think there's going to be a greater call as we head in to the end of 2023, going into the beginning of 2024. As the disposable market slowly starts to subside, I think there's going to be a bigger call for those advanced dual battery box mod stock coil sub-ohm tank kits. I think there's going to be a rise or a resurfacing of the likes of rebuildable tanks and rebuildable drippers. We're starting to see the very first signs of that beginning, with more and more rebuildables resurfacing onto the market from companies who have not done rebuildables for a good number of months now, and that would need to be something that the UK Vaper Expo will need to take into account for May of 2024. It's not going to happen in October, because October's still too close to where we are now. There's still going to be a load of disposables flooding the market most of the way through this year, but as we go into the midpoint of 2024, it could be a good idea to, I don't know, delineate or put a border between disposables and what the advanced and hobbyist vapor is actually going to the UK Vaper Expo for. Because the longer this major disposable trend goes on, and the less space that advanced and hobbyist vapors are seeing on the floor plan for what they're interested in, the more chance those vapors are simply not going to turn up. Was the numbers, like the foot traffic of May 2023, better than May 2022? To me, at least not so much on the Sunday, but to me on the Saturday, it looked far busier than May of 2022. Especially when it got to the back half of Saturday itself, because the front half of Saturday and the first public day, people realised as they walked around it was all nothing but disposables. However, this time round, when they walked in, yes, they seen disposables, but they seen an extended and well-stocked ohm zone, and that ohm zone was stacked, absolutely stacked with people who were just there to either buy mods from the likes of Deathwish, from the likes of Vape Smarter, from the likes of Overkill. They were there to get coils from the likes of CC or Proper or Coils by Scott, or they were simply there to basically sit down and chill out, because the ohm zone happened to be next to the bar, which was very handy for some people out there. Aidan, Sean, hi. Anyway, that about wraps up the Expo coverage for me. A massive thanks to all the folks who basically walked up and introduced themselves. I bumped into a lot of subscribers, especially on the Saturday, because the Saturday was rather busy in the home zone. It was good. It was very good chatting to all of you. Very good chatting to all of you. The social side of things. That's the real fun part for me when it comes to the UK Vaper Expo. It's always really good bumping into your subscribers or followers at public events like this. Anyway, that's it for me. Hopefully, I don't think I've got con crud because the throat feels fine, right? But anything can happen in the next 24 hours, folks. Hopefully, there will be reviews coming up on Tuesday, next Tuesday coming, for a normal run of reviews. If I end up with the con crud, though, I'll post a message out on social media. Anyway, that's it for me, folks. As always, thanks for watching and have a good one.